Gosh, okay. So my video is going to be two parts. Another affirmation. Again, hoping that this stuff shows up correct. So let's be happy though. Um, Another positivity. Um, every day should feel this good. Mirror looking before I leave. And as you can see me, I don't know. Then travel into the Masters. And this is Masters, more positive stuff. Caricature of me, painting I did, one of my very first vision boards, some more affirmations there. You can't really see the wording. If you can see my pillow back there, it says grace, hope, and renewal. Um, my latest vision board that I've done, complete with me and pictures of my son, outside of a home that I was looking at, and in this area, another vision board, um, good vibes, true colors, all just positive stuff, positive stuff. My closet is back there. It's pretty good, decent size. And over there is my altar area. And now I'm going to take you and show you what I have just recently manifested in my office. Now, it's a little junky. But it needs a little bit of work. But this is what I just recently manifested right here. Ta-da! A brand new Dell desktop. And so, since the topic is on manifestations, I think it's important. A lot of people show once they are already in the big, big, big house, and they show the nice car, and they show, their business booming and everything. And I think that that's awesome and that's amazing because that inspires people to get the ball rolling. However, this is constant work. It's constant work of doing your affirmations, of doing your self-evaluations. It's every day. Like every day you get up and you brush your teeth, you wash your face. Every day you have to check your internal conversations and your internal dialogue every single day. And it's not just like overnight you manifest these great, wonderful things, but with practice, they start coming, and the ways of how to make them happen and come starts revealing themselves to you. And you just start really walking into that life of yours, of your own designing as a co-creator as you are. Naturally. Now, naturally, if you know anything about law of attraction, it's a universal law that is in action all the time through your thoughts and your feelings. So sometimes you're consciously doing it, which is the best way to do it, but sometimes you're not consciously doing it. You're just reacting to things, and you don't realize by reacting and paying attention to certain things that you actually draw more of that into your life. And you don't just overnight get rid of that, because those programmings that you have in your subconscious are from years, sometimes decades and decades of you just observing the life around you and the people around you, which is why it's so important to carefully pick the people you keep company with on a regular basis. And it's okay if you decide to just keep company with yourself for a period of time, especially when you are transitioning from one point in life to another point in life. Second, it is important that your environment, as I showed you, I have positive stuff here, positive stuff there. Like everywhere you go in this house, there is something positive. I didn't show you my son's room, but his room too has vision boards, has positive words, so it's everywhere, so it has to go into my subconscious, and again, though, it doesn't happen overnight. So last year, this time, I was in probably a room a little, about the size of my bedroom, actually. We'll go back in there. I was in a room about the size of this room here. And it had in it a bunk bed that had twin size beds on it, where I slept at the bottom, my son slept at the top. It had a dresser, it had a table, and it had a TV. and I had a bathroom that would probably be like equivalent to where my closet is right now. So that room was inside of New York City shelter for homeless people because I was displaced from my home. And I'll share the details about that and that journey in another video. However, there I was with my son, and I just wanted better and more. Now, a lot of people were sitting there waiting to get into NYCHA. NYCHA, if you're not familiar with it, is New York City Housing Authority. It basically gives you security in the effect that as long as you're paying your rent on time, you have a place to stay, and if your income drops or your income rises, they go according to your income. So as long as you're not doing anything major, you basically have somewhere to be that's pretty stable. So people like to sit and wait for that. Now that waiting list takes years. They have a priority for young babies and younger parents. They have a priority for disabled people. They have a priority for domestic violence victims, depending on how severe the abuse was and how recent the abuse was, and a whole bunch of other different factors. But there are literally millions of people awaiting to get into a NYCHA apartment. So you have options. You can stay in the shelter system. The city will cover you staying there as long as you follow the rules, come in on curfew, meet with your case manager, don't do anything major like breaking or fighting the staff members or fighting other people who live there, then you're pretty much stable and secure there for free. But you have to go through metal detectors when you come in. You have people who can come into your room at any time, whether you're there or not, do a inspection, they call it, and you don't have any privacy at all. Okay, so while I was there last year, I was like, okay, this is a stepping stone. Okay, prior to that, me and my son being in that place, I was at a place that was just women, and it was nice. It was actually a hotel, a nice hotel, the Radisson, and it was very comfortable. I had a bed comparable to my bed now. The only thing that was uncomfortable about that was that every month you had to switch rooms, so you had to like pack up all your stuff, even if you were settled and organized, pack it up and go to the next room. And they did that purposely so that people would not get too comfortable staying there, although there were women there for like 3 years and more. And because it's the same rules apply, as long as you are coming in when you need to come in, as long as you are meeting with your case manager and you're not fighting or breaking anything, you can stay there, and they'll make a way for you to stay there because the state is actually spending thousands of dollars to house people in these different alternatives to them being in their own space, in their own home. So homelessness is something that I struggled with for quite some time, and I've just broken that, and I'm very happy to have broken that. And I've been here for about a year. I have another year here until my lease is up, and I have a game plan which I'm not going to disclose because I realized something. I let someone who seem to be a good friend, and I'm not going to say that they're not a good friend, but they have their own insecurities and their own doubts and their own fears that they're dealing with right now, which I'm not going to participate in, but I did slip up and participated slightly in it, and I realized that, and this is kind of what inspired me to do this video because they're in a similar situation where they want to have their own space and place, but they're allowing every fear in the book to kind of distract them from their goal. And I wanted to make this video because I wanted to share with the world that when you put a goal out there, that sometimes it doesn't come exactly how you want it. Like this space and place right here, I did not see this place or picture this space when I was in that first space. When I was in the first space, the other room that I was in, not my apartment, but the room in the shelter, when I was in that room in the shelter, what I pictured was a big house. okay? Like, this is what I want. I want a big house. You know, I want to settle down. I want to meet someone terrific, yada, yada, yada. I want us to grow and flourish and do great, amazing things in the world and have this amazing family. Like, those were my goals. But I know that I wasn't just like, he wasn't just gonna come to the shelter and pull up in a freaking Cadillac or in a Lamborghini and be like, hop on in, let me take you to paradise. You know, like, I have to be prepared for this. It's gonna be work. You know, it's not gonna always be easy. You know, I had to go through the steps in the process, and the most part of the process is my internal talk and my internal thoughts and my internal feelings. Like, I had to really get in with those. So I had to become at peace where I was at. Even though it was annoying hearing the people outside my door, it was annoying smelling the weed smoke, it was annoying coming through the metal detectors. All that stuff was annoying and it was not what I wanted to deal with. However, I had to focus on what I do want in the midst of that. And then not only focus on what I do want in the midst of that, but I had to also be appreciative of that. Look, in the midst of all the things that was fucked up, excuse my French, but clearly just fucked up about that situation, how they dehumanize you, how they just treat you like you're not an adult, like all of those things I had to, and the place I was at, I'm not going to throw them under the bus because they were really good people who worked there. So they made the environment as good as they could. However, you had all the different families who had already been through the dehumanizing, the down putting, the everything that you could think of the system. And so they were not healed, you know, and hurt people, hurt other people. So there were always something going on, fights and arguments and this and that and the other. And the energy there was just like, whoa, okay? So, but I had to find out, I had to look and see, what am I grateful for? Well, I'm grateful that I have a bed to sleep in. I was grateful that I had a shower, hot shower to wash up with, and a toilet of my own. I didn't have to share the bathroom at that particular facility. You know, I've been in other places where I did, and that was gross. And, you know, so I had things to be grateful for. There was always meals, whether if I didn't have my own money to buy something, there was something that was provided for me. So I looked at those things and I focused on those things, and I said, okay, better is going to come. And I just kept on going, kept going to work, coming back home, going to work, come back home, come back home. Then they gave me an opportunity and they shared something with me, and I was scared. Okay, it was like, okay, I'm gonna take this, and you know what's gonna happen, you know, because you know, the time is not long. You know, it seems like it's a long period of time, but what's gonna happen, and what am I gonna do, and how is this gonna affect my son, and da 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 da. He wasn't even, he was running away back and forth with dealing with his personal issues, you know, so he wasn't even there when it was time for me to go. But I decided to go forward anyway, because I said, at least if I go forward, I get rid of the extra drama that was going on in that facility, and I have the opportunity to create a space that can allow me to create even more. So let me take this step forward. So no, I'm not in my big house right now, but I'm in my apartment, and I appreciate my apartment, and I'll be here until the end of next year, and unless of course I hit the lottery. And if I hit the lottery I still might be here until the end of next year, even if I hit the lottery. But I want to take you guys on a journey today. So this video I'm going to stop, but I want you guys to see how close I am to actualizing and manifesting what I want. I've already found my home. I know where it's at, and I'm going to show you guys it. Now, this video, when it's released, I'll already be in it. But I'm sharing this video with a friend who's having a challenge with themselves because they are doubting and they're letting other people influence their decisions instead of following their own heart. And they need to follow their own heart. Not even me. Don't listen to me. follow your own heart. If you feel in your heart the decision you're making is the right decision, then go with it. But if you don't feel that in your heart of hearts, in your soul, then you need to reevaluate the decision and see and know that nothing is concrete yet. So you still have availability. There's still a small window opening. So anyway, I'm going to put on some more clothing and tape you me walking out and show you how close I am to my house. And I think this video is so important because, it's one thing to show people once you already are in the mansion and they're like, oh, all right, I do this every day. All right, I believe it. I see it. I believe it. I see it. But there's a process in between, and I think it's important to show the process in between. I didn't have the epiphany to make a video like this when I was actually at that place, but I'm glad that I'm able to make it now to show you how important it is, your environment, and you just feeding your subconscious every day, positivity every day, your mind, your inner thoughts, taking evaluation of yourself every day. Like, don't just look in the mirror and say, oh, I look good. Look deeper. Look into your soul. Look into how you're feeling. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? If you're feeling uneasy about anything, take the time, be quiet, meditate, and figure what's going on within yourself, because that's the only thing you have control over. You have no control over your outside situations at all. You only have the control of yourself and how you're going to respond to it. And the law of attraction is always in effect. So if you're responding to something negative, me included, I'm not out of this. I'm included. And that's why I'm sharing this, because I learned. Like, I just had a situation. I responded to it negatively, and it was, and that's what happened. And it drew back negativity. So I'm like, okay, self. I'm always looking within myself. I always correct myself. And some people think that that's a sign of weakness, but actually that's a sign of strength, because not enough people take the time to really sit with themselves and look at themselves and evaluate themselves and say, what part did I play in this situation? A lot of people want to point the fingers at the other person. This person is this, and this person did that, and this person did the other. You need to look within yourself, because whatever situation that you are in it from your decisions that you made. And those people outside are just reflections of either your inner thoughts, your inner feelings, or your inner fears. And you need to know that. So you can change that. When you change how you are internally, your outside will change. And I know that for a fact. So anyway, put some more stuff on. Call my Uber because I'm not driving yet. And I'll be right with you.